Alright, so hello everybody, welcome to the weekly wrap for Saturday 16th of December 2011. Okay, major currencies. I'm going to start today by looking at the weekly charts, just so we can have an overall view of the long-term picture. Here we have the euro. As we can see, for almost a year now, we've been in an uptrend on a weekly basis. Last week's candle was a spinning top, sometimes referred to as a reversal candle, but quite weak. So we need to see what happens next week before we can make any judgment on that candle. If we drill in on the daily chart, so we were already well in profit after this big move on the Friday before last week. During last week we have had 3 attempts to break the same high. So we started with a double top, which probably should have been a good time to close the long. However, I left it open, but on the third time on Thursday, when it still could not get through this high, I closed the long. I sat out Friday. I had no trades open on Friday. Had a day off, but as you can see, we've got a bearish engulfing candle from Friday. So possibly some downside next week. Bearish engulfing candles are usually a good indication that there will be some downside, but the first candle after that is very important. So for the euro, still in a major uptrend, some consolidation here. However, we do have this candle to keep an eye on. Dollar Swiss, firstly with the weekly chart, and it gives us a very clear indication of the downtrend. Again, I'm not going to be too quick to start calling bottoms here, because if you've been continually calling bottoms over the past year, you've been losing a lot of money. Always go with the trend if you can. Now, we were short here last week, and it was another very good week, and we had a target of new lows which was reached. On Thursday, the candle breached the previous low, was our target from back here, by 5 pips. So limits and stops can be very handy. No need to be constantly watching the screen for when it hits that target. As soon as it hit the target, the position was closed and the profits were locked in. It tried to rally a little bit on Friday and then sold off again. So even though we have had a bounce off that support, it is looking to me like there will be even further downside. So let's see what happens. Cable. So on the weekly chart, we are in an uptrend. There's no disputing it. But if we go to our daily chart, you can see all those numbers and letters that I was talking about last week, trying to get an Elliott wave count for a possible move back down for a C wave down below this point here at about 159.32. So I did actually go short once this low was breached on, that would have been Tuesday. However, almost immediately after I took the trade, it reversed and rallied. So again, having a stop loss in place just back above these lows, it was closed out quickly and not too much damage done. So now we have a more clear, or a clearer, indication that we might be in an uptrend here, because the problem previously was new low, new high, new low, new high. So it's hard to work out which way you're trending when that sort of thing's happening. But now we have a higher low. If we can move up to make a new high, I will be looking towards the upside. We'll be looking for long positions on weakness rather than going short again. Okay, dollar yen. I'm not going to go to the weekly chart on this one because, as we've been saying, it has been ranging for months and months. except for obviously the spike down from the disaster in Japan, and then we broke out of the range. So there was some optimism for the bulls. However, last week it sold off quite a lot. Every day was a down day. Now I've put the fibs on so you can see from the bottom of the spike down up to the top of the rally. Even though we've sold off quite dramatically over the past week, we have not reached even the 38.2 fib level. So even though we're back into the range, there is a possibility that we bounce off one of these fibs and then move up again. That would indicate, we're now in an uptrend. We're going to get out of this range. However, we may just get back to ranging for, who knows how long. So just keep an eye on it, and trade what you see. Okay, I forgot to mention on the euro, this bearish engulfing candle on the Friday, possibly due to some data that came out of China. However, another currency that's strongly linked to China is the Aussie dollar. Firstly, the weekly chart, we have the uptrend, and look at this doji we have here for this week. So I'm not calling a top, but it's a candle to keep an eye on. You can see we have had them before, and we did not get the confirmation candles for the following week. So we need to look for a confirmation candle on that for any possible downside. But if we switch back to the daily chart, and the reason I mentioned the euro and the data out of China, you can see on Friday the Australian dollar, which is also strongly affected by happenings in China, it showed no signs whatsoever that it was that there was any problems at all. So if we look at that, we just see a sell-off on Monday and Tuesday, a correction. It sold off a fair bit, but even by Tuesday the bulls soon stepped back in, and then on Wednesday, Thursday and Friday it moved back up. So we're nearing new highs again. We'll have to look and see what happens. So again, look on the daily chart for the new highs, possible new highs, and then at the end of the week, next week, we'll look again at the weekly candles and see what happened after that doji. So guys, happy trading. I hope you make plenty of pips next week. That's the weekly wrap for the major currencies, and also the Aussie dollar, which is the flavour of the month at the moment. So I'll see you all next week. Bye for now.